Yo, yo, what's up? What's up, everyone? I'm back. How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? What's up? Leroy Lorax says, what's up? Apple Ricky says, what's up? Dominic St. Clair says, hey. Mackie Casaneta says, what's up? Yo, what's up, Mackie? How you doing? How you doing? Crimson says, oh, I got here really early this time. Awesome. Hell yeah. Glad to see you guys here. Like I said, I'm gonna be going live. I'm gonna be starting the live streams now at 4 because it gets dark early now. So if I go live at 5, I'm gonna be really tired by that point. So I'd rather just start the live streams at 4 o'clock now. But hell yeah, glad to see everyone here. Asia Calante 1350 says hello. What's up, Asia? How you doing? If you're a horror fan, please like and subscribe to the channel. My name is Frank. Welcome to Hollywood Horror Film Club. Today is Horror Talk Wednesdays, episode 53. We missed last week. Well, we didn't miss last week. I still went live, but I didn't do the episode because it was Halloween. It was 2 days before Halloween, so it was my Halloween live stream. But yeah, hell yeah, we're back to regular schedule though. Leroy Lorax says, I watched all of the Saw movies today. That's awesome. Yeah, I've seen all the Saw movies myself. They're all awesome. They're fun to watch. Did you see the newest one that came out like 2-3 years ago? Apple Ricky says, what's with the Homer Simpson face hair, bro? Oh, I haven't shaved my beard. I play a show this Friday, so I just decided to shave until Friday. And it's cold today. It was kind of cold today this morning, so I just decided to keep my beard today. I was going to shave, though. But then I was like, nah, it's too cloudy today, so I just kept my beard. Like I said, I'm going to play a show on Friday. I'm going to shave Friday instead. But yeah, it looks pretty funny how I got gray hair on it. Crimson says, have you seen the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 trailer yet? Not yet. I haven't seen that one yet. But I've seen the Scream 7 one. We're going to check all that stuff out right now. We're going to check all that right now. Apple Ricky says, you look like Homer Simpson. Yeah, it's probably the goatee. That's why. But it's all good though. Homer's funny. Leroy Lorax says, some of the traps are rigged as F. Yeah. It's crazy, yeah. The Saw movies are crazy, bro. I grew up watching all of them. They're so awesome. My favorite one, though, my personal favorite one, I think is Saw 2, though, or Saw 3. One of them, the first 3 are the best, I think. The first 3 Saw movies, honestly. The first 3 Saw movies, I think, are the best ones. Let's keep smashing the thumbs up right there, guys. Come on. Let's keep smashing that thumbs up right there. Let's get it up to 20. Let's get it up to 20. Apple Ricky says, I got some S to tell you on Halloween. All right. Hold on. Let me just finish doing what I'm doing quick. Or just start telling me now, Apple Ricky, how did everyone spend their Halloween? How did everyone spend their Halloween this past weekend? I didn't go live on Sunday because I just took the day off. It was basically a 3-day weekend, you know? It was basically Halloween weekend, you know, the whole 3 days, you know? So I just took Sunday off. I just chilled that day, but I'm live today. From now on, it's the same regular schedule as always. Same regular schedule as always from now on. Hold on, guys. Give me a second. Let me take this to my little sister. All right, I'm back, guys. I'm back. So yeah, Apple Ricky says, my dad's friend was afraid of me because I was Art the Clown. When I would walk to him, he'd be like, and he'd say, oh, you little ass. I was so funny. You know what's funny, Apple Ricky? A lot of people were scared of me too. A lot of girls were scared of me. Only a few girls took pictures with me, but when I would be walking down the neighborhood with my black bag and all the blood all over, there would be girls just scooting off to the side trying to avoid me because they're scared of the costume. Hey, my costume looked great, bro. I didn't even need a mask. I didn't even need a mask for my Art the Clown costume. I just bought the nose from Tinsley and I did my makeup. Hey, Apple Ricky, were you able to get the Art the Clown teeth? Apple Ricky, those teeth you were wearing in your picture, were those the Trick or Treat Studios Art the Clown teeth? Or were those something else? Because I couldn't find the teeth. Trick or Treat Studios isn't making them right now until later on again. They're out of stock. Let me see. They're out of stock. Crimson says, I went as Dr. Salvador on Halloween and got a lot of candy. I still trick or treat, laugh out loud. It's fun. Yeah, I still trick or treat too. I go with my little sister and my nieces, and we're just trick-or-treating right there. Dude, it's fun. Anyways, no one even really knows how old you are under the costume, bro. Like, to be honest, like, no one. And I've been the same height pretty much since high school, you know? You know, I've been pretty much the same height since high school. So no one really knows who's really under the costume. You know, no one can really tell if you're wearing makeup or a mask, if you're like underage or not. You know, unless you're like a really old looking, really masculine dude, then yeah, they'll be able to tell. But yeah, that's awesome, bro. Hell yeah. Um, Crimson says Dr. Salvador and the Chainsaw Man from Resident Evil 4. Yes, I know. I know, Crimson. That's awesome, bro. Hell yeah. You should post some pictures on your community stories. Leroy Lorak says, I went as Pennywise, no mask either. Awesome. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I went as Art the Clown, guys. I love my Art the Clown costume. Now I gotta make a fan film. Now we gotta make an Art the Clown. Hey guys, should I make an Art the Clown fan film? Should I make an Art the Clown fan film? With the pale girl, I could play Art. My little sister could play the pale girl. That'll be awesome. Let me know. We should do that. Let me know. Apple Ricky says, and when my dad was talking, his friends, I sneaked behind him and stole the peanut butter. Then went to get toilet paper and get it on there. That's crazy. That's funny though. Hey, that's funny. Apple Ricky, the teeth. Your Art the Clown teeth, Apple Ricky. Your Art the Clown teeth. What is it? Are they the Trick or Treat Studios ones? Or are they just like regular Halloween teeth? Give me a second. Get over there. What? Sorry guys, my niece is knocking on my door. But yeah, Apareki, let me know about the teeth. Your Art the Clown teeth. Are they Trick or Treat Studios or are they some other brand? Because I really wanted those teeth. I really wanted those teeth, Apareki. I really wanted those teeth. And I wasn't able to get my teeth for Halloween. That sucked. I was able to get everything else. My nose prosthetic, the makeup, the costume in time. But damn, Trick or Treat Studios was out of stock on the teeth. Was out of stock. So yeah, let me know, Apareki. Come on, let me know. Were they Trick or Treat Studios teeth or not? Let me see. Dominic St. Clair, are we shooting this Friday or Saturday? Let me ask Dominic, let me ask the rest of the crew, right? Let me ask the rest of the crew because I'm playing a show with my band this Friday. I'm playing a show with my band this Friday, dude. I'm playing a show with my band this Friday, so I gotta ask everyone when they're free, all right? I'll let you know in a little bit after the live stream. I'll let you know a little bit after the live stream. Ricky says, so then I put on my dad's doorstep and everyone was leaving. Said, Dad, what? Wait, hold on. So then I put it on my dad's doorstep when everyone was leaving. I said, what is that? He turned on the porch light. He says, and my aunt said they gave you shit because you had no candy. Damn, that sucks, Ricky. That sucks. Dominic says, cool. Dominic says, Rush, take your time, bro. I'm patient. All right, for sure, man. No problem. No problem. It's because, yeah, man, I got a lot of stuff coming at me right now, you know? So I got to figure out what days we're going to be able to do this. Apple Ricky says, my dad went out to the driveway and said, you little F's. I had him think, wait, what? I'd had him think one of the kids wiped their butt and put it on the doorstep. Oh, man. Oh, man, Apple says, little did he know it was peanut butter. That's crazy, Apple. That's crazy. That is crazy as hell. That is crazy as hell. That is crazy as hell. Matt Klein says, I liked your costume for Halloween. Thank you so much, Matt Klein. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for liking my costume. I was Art the Clown this year. It was badass. I only needed the nose prosthetic. I didn't even need a mask. But yeah, thank you so much, Matt Klein. Please smash the thumbs up right there. Yeah, Matt, if you haven't already. Hey guys, I'll be back. Let me put the link to this live stream in my Instagram. I'll be back. Back, guys. I'm back. back, guys. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back again. I'm back again. Okay, so it says right here. Aporiki says it was so funny. My uncle had the most funny reaction. That is funny, Aporiki. That is funny. Hey, Aporiki, you haven't answered my question yet, though. What kind of Art the Clown teeth do you have? Aporiki, what kind of teeth do you have for your Art the Clown costume? Are they Trick or Treat Studios or not? Are they Trick or Treat Studios teeth? Or what are they? So I've been needing to get some Art the Clown teeth. I want to know what kind yours are. Aporiki says, I got the teeth off Amazon. Just search zombie teeth. Oh, okay. They're zombie teeth. Did they fit good? Were you able to have them in your mouth long enough? Because I would put mine on and I don't know, like it would make my face look weird. And it didn't look like art when I would have the teeth on. I need to get those Trick or Treat Studios ones really bad. Let me see, dude. Come on. I saw this news earlier. Aporiki says, I just painted my face and put the teeth in my mouth. But did they feel uncomfortable? Did they feel uncomfortable or not? Did they feel uncomfortable or not? Aporiki says, the bottom teeth felt weird, but otherwise, no. Yeah, it's because I was wearing some teeth, but my mouth felt weird, and it just made me look weird, and it felt uncomfortable, so I just decided not to wear the teeth. I'm gonna wait until I'm able to get those Trick or Treat Studios Art the Clown teeth. But then again, I want to know if those will even fit right themselves, you know? So yeah, there's that too as well. There's that too as well. Damn, dude, I'm trying to find this news that I saw. I heard this news earlier that there's gonna be another Thing movie, but I can't find the proper news. What? Hold on, I can right now. Hey, chill. Aporiki says, I was originally gonna put the peanut butter and toilet paper on my neighbor's doorstep, but I didn't have the balls to do it. Huh? That's pretty funny though. That's pretty funny. That is pretty funny. Okay, wait, so we got some horror movie news right here, guys. We got some horror movie news right here. We got some horror movie news, the first news of the day. Hold on, I'm gonna get into it right now. I'm gonna get into it right now. I'm gonna get into it right now. Let's keep smashing the thumbs up though. Let's keep smashing the thumbs up. Let's get it up to 20, guys. Come on. Let's get it up to 20. Let's keep smashing the thumbs up right there. Let's keep smashing the thumbs up. All right, guys. So if any of you are fans of the movie The Thing, if any of you are fans of the movie The Thing, the original one from the 50s and John Carpenter's remake from the 80s, listen up. So apparently, Screen Geek Horror.com right here on Facebook is reporting The Thing 2 is officially in the works. John Carpenter revealed at Fan Expo Philadelphia. We're working on it now. Let me see if I could find that though. Apple Reiki says, "I wish I was a dog so I can so I can s on my ex's lawn." You're crazy, Apple Reiki. You're crazy. Apple Reiki says, "Is The Thing even a horror movie?" I don't even know what that is. The Thing is a horror movie, Apple Reiki. The Thing is a classic horror movie. The Thing is a classic horror movie. Critic Chris says, "Hey Frank, hey everyone, what's up, Critic Chris? How you doing? How you doing, Critic Chris? Welcome to another episode of Horror Sunday. I mean Horror Talk Wednesdays. Today's episode 53. Welcome back from the Halloween weekend, man. Please smash the thumbs up right there, guys. Yeah, if you haven't already, please keep smashing the thumbs up right there. If you haven't already, guys, let's keep smashing the thumbs up. Let's get it up to 20. Wolf says, yo, what up, Frank? Hope you had a great Halloween. I had an awesome Halloween, Wolf. I had an awesome Halloween. I hope you had a great one as well, bro. Hell yeah. Critic Chris says, I'm late. Laugh out loud. It's all good, bro. No worries, man. You're good, man. You're good. Anyways, I have to start the live streams earlier now. I have to start the live streams at 4 o'clock now. Because if I start at 5 o'clock, it's going to be way too late already. I'm going to be too tired to do it. So I'm starting the live streams now at 4 o'clock. So you're good, bro. You're good. I was just barely getting into the movie news anyway. You're good, Critic Chris. You're good, man. And Wolf, please smash the thumbs up. Yeah, Wolf. If you haven't already, whoever hasn't smashed the thumbs up, smash it, guys. Please. Apple Ricky says, have you seen A Clockwork Orange? I watched it on Monday. Yes. It is a movie about these crazy dudes. They supposedly live in like the future, whatever, and they do experiments on people. They're like, dude, they commit crimes and stuff. They commit psychological like experiments on people. They put this eye device on this lady and make her watch a bunch of stuff. I think they torture some woman in an apartment room, and I can't say the other word that they do, but it's messed up. That movie is messed up. That movie is messed up. Also, Dr. Loomis from Rob Zombie's Halloween is like the main bad guy in that movie, Malcolm McDowell. And that movie also inspired a band called The Addicts. That's why they wore their little top hats and stuff, just like Clockwork Orange. Let me see. Critic Chris says, I watched Halloween. There was a line my friends and I picked up that we did before. Wait, I watched Halloween. There was a line my friends and I picked that we did before. Awesome. I watched Halloween on Halloween as well, bro. Hell yeah. That sounds awesome. That sounds awesome. Apple Ricky says my five top favorite movies are Terrifier 3. Wait, what? Why'd you retract your message, Apple Ricky? Critic Chris, I want to watch Clockwork Orange. Haven't seen it yet. I recommend it, bro. I really recommend Clockwork Orange. Apple Ricky says, yeah, Malcolm McDowell played Alex. Yes, he was the main bad guy, Alex. Alex Chalmers. No, that's not his name, though. I just said that for the hell of it. I just said that for the hell of it. Let me see. I'm trying to find them. Let's keep smashing the thumbs up. Let's get it up to 20. Okay.
We're working on it now.
Okay, guys. Here it is. I found this clip of John Carpenter talking about the Thing sequel. Wolf says, A Clockwork Orange is freaking awesome. The book is even more messed up and better. Hell yeah, I love that movie, bro. I love that movie. Apple Ricky says, my favorite top 5 movies are Terrifier 3, Children of the Corn, Clockwork Orange, The Omen, and Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 1. Awesome. Awesome, Apple Ricky. Those are good choices. All right, listen up, guys. If you guys are a fan of The Thing, here's John Carpenter talking about it.
Are you going to make a sequel to The Thing?
We're working on it now. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
One more time, because my dogs are making so much noise. Check it out.
Are you gonna make a sequel to The Thing?
We're working on it now. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Hey, shut up. Be quiet. Yeah, dude, my dogs are ass wipes, man.
Are you gonna make a sequel to The Thing?
We're working on it now. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Damn. You heard it straight from the horse's mouth right there. You heard it straight from the horse's mouth. Apple Ricky says, I seen Clockwork Orange. I love it. I saw that movie when I was like 14 or 13. Nice Girl says, what is that? What's up, Nice Girl? That was John Carpenter, director of the Halloween 1978, talking about that there is a possibility for another Thing movie. The Thing, if you're not familiar with The Thing, it was a movie from the 50s. I think it might also have been a book, if I'm not too sure. It might need to be corrected on that. But it was also a remake in the 80s by John Carpenter. And they also made like a remake in 2011 as well. And now they're talking about making a new one. They're talking about making a new Thing movie. That's going to be awesome. They should make a sequel to The Blob, yo. The Blob will be awesome. Hey, Nice Girl, if you haven't smashed a thumbs up, please smash a thumbs up, yeah? Nice Girl, please smash the thumbs up. Get us up to 19. So more people could join us here in the live chat. Apple Ricky says, I'm thinking I might write a sequel to Clockwork Orange. It would be called A Clockwork Orange 2, The Child of Alex. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. Critic Chris says, it was when the boyfriend said how they rip off Lori, Annie, and oh yeah, Lindsay. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that part. Yeah, I don't know why John Carpenter put that in the movie. I don't know who came up with those lines, but yeah, when I used to hear that as a kid, it always struck me as odd because I was like, isn't Lindsay like 8 years old, you know? So it's just weird, you know? Wolf says, yes, it's based on a book called Who Goes There? Yeah, you see, so I did, yeah, so it was based on a book, yeah, I remember, because I remember hearing that it was a book too, growing up. Apple Ricky says, I'm singing in the rain. That's awesome. Critic Chris says, my friends and I were like, did we hear what we think we did? Yep. Yeah, that's weird, right? That's weird. That's what I mean. When I was a kid as well, when I used to watch these movies when I was like a 7-year-old, 8-year-old kid, and they would say that, it struck me as odd because like weren't these like to me when I was a kid, teenagers literally looked like college students to me already, you know? So it just looked weird that these college age looking people were saying Lindsay also, including her in their weirdness, you know. It's just weird. But yeah, let me see. Critic Chris says it was the 70s. Laugh out loud. It would not fly today. I don't even think it flew then, bro. Because like, damn, bro. Because like, kids have always been protected, bro. Kids have always been protected, no matter what era of history you go back to. Children have always been protected, bro. Look at the Titanic. When it was sinking, they only let women and children on the lifeboats. And then in like the 1920s and 30s or early 1900s or whatever, when there was children working in like factories, they installed child labor laws, you know? So I don't know how they got passed with those lines in the movie, you know? I don't know. It's crazy though. Critic Chris says, Frank, I seen the movie plenty of times. I can't believe I didn't pick it up sooner. I know, bro. I known this shit since, like, I'm telling you. I first saw Halloween 1978. I'm thinking maybe like 1995, 96 for the first time. Yep. I saw Halloween 78 like around 96 or 95 for the first time around there. So even then when I was a kid, I was like, what the hell? Aren't these like older teenagers? So it was weird. Wolf says, yeah, that was a weird, creepy line. Yeah, that was just wild, right? But I could see why Michael killed Bob now. Bob's the one who suggested it. Linda didn't agree, though. Linda didn't agree. She just laughed. Linda didn't agree, but Bob sounded serious, though. Bob sounded really serious, but Linda didn't agree, though. That's what I liked about Linda. She never agreed with them. Aparica says, I would have Callum Vincent or Grant Feely play Alex's son. Remember the scene he met two girls like at a club? I picture the ginger girl got pregnant by Alex, but she never told him. That could work, yeah. Totally, that could totally work, Apple Ricky. Why not? Apple Ricky says, Alex is in a wheelchair. Because the ending, he's like paralyzed. Yeah, that would be cool, huh? Have one on the wheelchair. That would add a cool like dynamic to the character. Let me see. Wolf says, how did you feel about Scream 7 trailer? Yes, guys, yes, we're gonna start talking about that right now. Let me go get something to drink quick though. All right, I'm back. I'm back, everyone. I'm back, everyone. What's up? How's everyone doing? Can y'all see my Batman cowl right there? Oh, yeah, you can see my Batman cowl. Barely, though. You can barely see it. Let me see. Apple Ricky says, oh no, Wolf says, how do you feel about the Scream 7 trailer? The Scream 7 trailer, bro, honestly, I have high expectations. The movie looks fun. The movie looks fun to watch. I really want to see what they're gonna do with that burning the Stu Macher house. That's gonna be interesting. Critic Chris says Scream 7 trailer had a scene which would be cool if it didn't end happy, like the scene of Ghostface burning down Stu's house. Yep. I heard that's the opening of the movie. That's crazy though. That's crazy to me though, because that means Amber's parents sold a house pretty much right after the murders. That means Amber Freeman's parents sold the Macher house again right after Richie and Amber's killing spree. They sold the house because I heard Scream 7 takes place in 2028. That's like 4 or 5 years after 2022. That's like 4 or 5 years after Scream 2022. So yeah, it seems like the parents sold the house right away and it got turned into an Airbnb, which in reality, the Scream house is an Airbnb in real life. So I could see why they're doing that. I could see why they are doing that. That's crazy though. But I wonder though, what's interesting is there gonna be only one Ghostface? Is there gonna be only one Ghostface? Because this movie is giving me Scream 3 vibes. Because it feels like there is only one Ghostface. It feels like there's only one Ghostface. Or think about it like this, because if you watch the Scream 7 trailer, when Sidney gets that first phone call, you see the phone call coming from Woodsboro. Excuse me. You see the phone call coming from Woodsboro. And then apparently the opening scene takes place in Woodsboro. So does that mean that there's a killer in Woodsboro that's operating there? And they also have another killer in Pine Grove or whatever it's called operating there as well? Or is it the same Ghostface and they just traveled to Pine Grove after finding out Sidney's whereabouts? After burning down the house? Or is it going to be a Scream 3 situation where it's just one killer? Is Sidney going to end up having another brother or sister? Is it going to be Leslie Macher or the Carpenter sister's mom? Both of them, you know? So let's see. Apariki says, I don't know what I would name Alex's son. I would have Evan Peters play Alex. He looks just like Malcolm. Yeah, you're right, Apariki. Evan Peters could totally play Alex from Clockwork Orange. Totally, yeah. They have the same face and everything, right? The same little button nose pushed in like this. The same little beady eyes. The same little beady black eyes. The same face, literally, like, you know? So, yeah, totally, Apariki. You got a good casting eye, Apariki. You got a good casting eye. Critic Chris says, really? Opening of the movie? Yes. Yes, Critic Chris. That's the rumors I've been hearing. I've been hearing that the opening of the movie is going to be the Airbnb thing, and then the Ghostface burning down the Stu Macher house. I heard that's gonna be the opening of the movie. And you know what? I think it should. I think it should. That'll be just a badass opening, you know? That'll be just a badass opening. It looks like Halloween Kills, literally. It looks like Halloween Kills when Ghostface is walking off the porch. It looks like Halloween Kills, like when Michael's walking off the porch. Wolf says, after what happened to Melissa Barrera, I don't think the movie is going to perform as well at the box office as the other movies. You don't think so? Wolf, you don't think the movie's going to do well because of the controversy with Melissa Barrera? I mean, the trailer, bro, the trailer did great, bro. The trailer did great, but I'm going to tell you one thing, though. The Stranger Things trailer was already at 1 million views before the Scream 7 trailer. But people are hyping up the Scream 7 more because I think it's a more popular franchise than Stranger Things, to be honest. I think Stranger Things is more niche. Scream has a wider audience because even people who aren't into horror, like casual horror people, like they like Scream as well, you know? And I think Stranger Things is more niche. But yeah, I'm telling you though, last Thursday in the morning, when I saw the Scream 7 trailer, I was blown away. I'm not gonna lie, I was blown away. But the Scream 7 trailer was at like 300 and something 58K. And what is it called? And Stranger Things was already at 1 point something million. And people were hyping up the Scream 7 trailer to have gotten 1 million views before the Stranger Things one. Is like, nah, dude, the Stranger Things one already had 1 million views before the Scream 7 one, you know? And that's crazy because I feel like Stranger Things is more niche. But I think it's gonna do okay. I'm not gonna lie, Wolf, I think the film's gonna do all right because it's like it's like they enticed us with the trailer, bro. They got us with the trailer. I can't lie about it. The marketing is good with the trailer. They did a good job with the trailer. So now I'm curious, you know, I want to see the Macher house again, you know? I want to see what it looks like after the 2022 killing spree, you know? So yeah, I'm pretty sure there is people that are gonna protest the movie. I've been hearing about that already. But you know what, dude? I mean, it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. We are where we are now. The past is the past, and like, you know, dude, like, if I were Melissa, if I were in her shoes, I would have just kept quiet until the third movie, and then I would have gone full political. I would have probably even ran for office, you know? But yeah, if I were her though, if I was her and I was in her position with Scream, I would have just kept quiet, bro. Honestly, I would have just kept quiet. I would have gotten my money. I would have done my last movie. I would have freaking been the star of this new trilogy. And after that, I would have, like I said, I would have ran for office or something, you know? But, you know, I kind of wish we would have gotten the conclusion of the Carpenter Sisters storyline as well. Because I was invested in it as well. But, I mean, who knows, bro? Who knows? Maybe they could bring them back in the future, you know? Maybe when they're a little bit older, you know, Sam and Tara, they're a bit older, a bit wiser, you know? They know how to... They know their way around Ghostface's manipulation and tricks, you know? And then maybe they could come back in a new sequel, new trilogy in a few years or a decade again to help out a new group of kids, you know? Like how Sydney came and helped them when they were younger, you know? Pretty much like that. Critic Chris says, yeah, it is made into a small museum. The Stu Macher house. It's an Airbnb now. It's like a little museum. I don't know if like about a year or so ago, when they were dropping behind the scenes pictures of Scream 7, there was this portrait of Matthew Lillard. This fancy looking portrait. And I'm pretty sure that's gonna be in the Airbnb as well. I'm pretty sure like when you watch the trailer in the beginning when they walk in, you literally see all this stab memorabilia on the wall, you know? You see that outline of where Billy got killed. You see the stab poster, you know? It's all there. They're definitely gonna pay tribute to the last few movies as well. So we'll probably see some stuff from Scream 5 there as well. You know, I love Scream 5, bro. I love Scream 5. Scream 5 was my favorite. Scream 5 was my favorite because it was the closest to Scream 1. Also Scream 4, kind of. Critic Chris has part of me hoping it's still after all this time of hiding. I mean, from the rumors, hopefully he's actually alive in the flesh, you know? Because I've been hearing these AI rumors. You know, I've been hearing these deep fake rumors, you know? So who knows? Who knows yet? We just got to wait until February, the end of the month. Apple says Alex would be in a wheelchair in the sequel because the ending. Yeah, the ending he gets messed up, remember? Apareki, in the ending, he gets his legs messed up. At the end of Clockwork Orange. Twisted Emo said, hi, what's up, Twisted Emo? How you doing? How you doing, Twisted Emo? Glad to see you here on the channel. Another episode of Horror, Horror Talk Wednesdays, episode 53. Please smash the thumbs up right there. Yeah, Twisted Emo, get us up to 20, please, bro. And how was your Halloween? Let us know how your Halloween was. Critic Chris says, Killer has to be close to Sydney, perhaps even her daughter. Yeah, probably. Probably. I highly doubt it's going to be the daughter, though. That would be awesome, though. That would be awesome if it was the daughter. Because that would be a massive-ass twist. That would be a massive-ass twist. What if it is the daughter? Hey, what if it is the daughter? What if it is the daughter? What if they're doing some Scream 4 stuff on us? What if they're doing some Scream 4 stuff on us? And the new actress that's gonna play Sydney's daughter, they're making it seem like she's the new final girl, but it turns out she's the killer, just like Jill. Remember Jill? They were trying to make it seem like she was the new final girl, and she turns out being the killer. I mean, come on, dude, come on. Like that would be the most twisted ending for a Scream movie. That would be the most twisted ending for a Scream movie, is the daughter being Ghostface, you know? And I honestly thought McKenna Grace was going to be playing another one of Sydney's daughters. I thought McKenna Grace was going to be playing another one of her daughters, dude. So I was hoping one of them would have been Ghostface, you know? So now it's kind of iffy. It's a 50-50 that the daughter might be Ghostface, because it seems like they're trying to set her up as the new lead of the Scream movies, but at the same time, we don't know what to expect, you know. So it's crazy. It's crazy. Twisted Emo says, I put Velcro on the back of my kills and ends masks. Me too. Me too. I put Velcro on the back of all my Michael Myers masks. I'm gonna be doing a review of my Halloween Kills mask rehaul soon. Hopefully next Myers Monday, I should have that out. Listen up, guys. I'm going to be doing a review of my Halloween Kills mask rehaul. Hopefully by next Myers Monday, I should have that out, though. Critic Chris says, Frank, did you bring the Mummy 4 news already? The Mummy 4 news? Let me see. Have not. But here we go. Let's start reading it. Let's start reading it. Brandon Fraser and Rachel Weisz is reportedly in talks for the Mummy 4 reunion. Damn, is Brandon Fraser going to lose weight, though? Is he going to lose weight for this? Critic Chris, I'm about to get into the Mummy 4 news right now. Critic Chris says, Bill, kill. For me, you're my blood. Kill Sydney. Wolf says, oh, for sure, the movie's going to perform well. I'll probably watch it more than once at the movies myself, but I just don't think the box office numbers will be as great as the previous movies. That's Scream 5 and 6. We'll see, bro. We just gotta see. You know, we do not know what's gonna happen in the future, you know? So we just have to wait and see, bro. Wolf says, I love more Scream in my life. Yes, me too. I just wish they would kind of move away from Sydney so much already. Let me see. Apple says, or maybe I'll have Alex also use a cane. A cane would be cool too. Doesn't he have a cane already? Apple didn't he have a cane? Apple didn't Alex have a cane, or one of them have a cane? Ted Contreras says, what's up, bro? What's up, Ted Contreras? How you doing? Welcome to another episode of Horror Talk Wednesdays, episode 53. Please smash the thumbs up. Yeah, bro, get us up to 21. Ted Contreras says, would you join my podcast one of these days? Yeah, I'll check out your podcast, bro. Yeah, definitely. Let me know when. Cosplayzano says, what's up, Frank? My handsome brother. How you doing, Cosplayzano? How you doing, bro? Glad to see you here on another episode of Horror Talk Wednesdays, episode 53. How was your Halloween, man? How was your Halloween cosplay? Let me know. Apple Ricky says, should I have Alex be just like him or have the son kind of like Glenn from Chucky, like a good kid? Nah, have him be just like him. Have him be just like him, unhinged and crazy. Critic Chris says, I heard the Mummy movie will ignore events of the previous movie. Oh, what? The Mummy, the Dragon Emperor? The Dragon Emperor movie? Why? Well, I'm going to read about it right now. Wolf says, who do you think is the scariest Ghostface? Stu is number one for me. Then it's Jill from Scream 4. That bitch is crazy. Yeah. Let me see. Jill was just hot. I think Jill was just hot. The scariest Ghostface to me, Mickey Altieri. Mickey Altieri from Scream 2. Mickey Altieri from Scream 2. You know why he's scarier? Because he was already a serial killer before he even donned the Ghostface persona. He was hired. He was basically a hitman. Dude, Mickey Altieri was basically a hitman in Scream 2. If you watch the end of Scream 2, Mrs. Loomis said she found him on the internet, on a psycho website, and she hired him. He was literally a hired assassin, bro. He was already, like I said, like a hitman, an assassin, before even donning the Ghostface costume, you know? So I would be scared of Mickey because he wouldn't think twice about killing you, because it's his job, literally. Cosplayzano says, I'm happy Robert Englund finally has a star. He deserves it. It's long overdue. Yup, that is true, right? That is very true, bro. That is very true. He should have had that long ago already, huh? Right. Critic Chris, I was burping, guys. Critic Chris says, agreed. What do we agree on? Oh, yeah. Critic Chris, what did we agree on? Twisted Emo says, hey, I would probably overhaul my kills mask, but I'm gonna add extra crisp, just like how it looks on Monster Palooza, because I noticed it had extra crisp to it. It had extra crisp to it. Yes, Twisted Emo. Twisted Emo, like I said, be on the lookout next Myers Monday for my Halloween Kills mask rehaul video, and you're gonna see I added the little char. If you look at Christopher Nelson's masks on display at the conventions, they have like little black balls of char on them. They have little specks of char on the mask. So what I did is I got liquid latex and I just painted it black and I added it all over the left side of my Michael Myers mask. So it looks like Christopher Nelson's mask. His masks have all the char. The Kills masks have the char on the face. So like I said, to make the char, just get liquid latex, roll it into little balls, paint it black, let it dry, and just stick them on the mask. Yeah, because a lot of people recall the Halloween Kills mask, and they either make it too dark from the side, from the burn side, which is not too dark. It's actually kind of yellowish and stuff. Or they don't add the char. They don't add the extra char, the extra crisp. You know how the Kills mask has the mold? Well, the Halloween Kills, you know how the Ends mask has the mold? The Halloween Kills mask has the char on it. Critic Chris says, laugh out loud actress playing Jill looks too much like her real life dad. Eric Roberts? Yeah, yeah, dude. I used to think Jill, hey, be quiet, guys. Stop it. I used to think Jill was so hot, dude. I was even dating a girl that looked just like Emma Roberts back in those days. Back when Scream 4 came out, I had a girlfriend that looked just like Emma Roberts, dude. It was crazy. It was crazy. I even made her wear my Ghostface costume one time, and it was wild, bro. It was wild. That's crazy, bro. Jill was cute, bro. She was cute. Cosplayzano says my Halloween My bad, guys. I messed up right there. My Halloween was litty. Went to a Halloween party as Halloween Kills Michael and danced. Had the whole place jumping when I first got in. I was sound like a prop, but once the Thriller played, I got up, laugh out loud. That's awesome, bro. That's awesome. That's awesome. I wanted to go to some Halloween parties, but my friends are just, I don't know, they're just acting so weird this year. They're just acting so, everyone's so overly emotional this year, so I couldn't do anything, you know? So I just focused on what I'm doing, you know? Apple Ricky says, or maybe Alex did another chick off screen and she could be the mother of his son. That also could be true too, Apple Ricky. Castellano says, literally, people thought I was a Halloween prop until I started dancing. That's crazy, bro. Well, yeah, because you were probably just sitting there still. Huh. Critic Chris says, agree with Robert England getting a star. Was long overdue. Way too long, right? Castellano says, hey, Critic Chris, you okay? Critic Chris says, I'm good. Wolf says, oh, Mickey is a great choice. Jill's motive and Scream 4 really creeped me out, and Stu's motive definitely the scariest to me. Pure pressure. Laugh out loud. Critic Chris says, laugh out loud. Twisted says, my dad is trying to get me a laptop for Christmas, so I'll probably try working on making music because I want to try and make some Carpenter-style music. Awesome. That's awesome, Twisted Emo. If you do make some Carpenter-style music, let me use it for my Halloween fan films. Critic Chris says, Emma Roberts looks hotter as a blonde, in my opinion. You really think so? I don't like her as a blonde, dude. I never did. I always thought she looked better brunette, bro. She looks way... I think she is a natural blonde. Is she natural? I don't know. But like... I remember she used to come out in this TV show called Unfabulous, like 20 years ago on Nickelodeon. And she was blonde. I think she might be a real blonde, but... I always liked her with brunette hair, bro. I think the blonde hair drowns out her features. With brunette hair, her features are more. You can see her features, her features are more accentuated, like her cheekbones and her eyes. They're more accentuated with brunette hair. With blonde hair, she looks like her cheekbones are missing and like her eyes look smaller and stuff, you know. So, Castellano says, Frank, did you at least dress up for Halloween? Yes, I did cosplay. I did. I was Art the Clown. Twisted Emo says, sure, I'll let you use it if I can get the hang of it. Awesome. Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. Wolf says, I think she looks better as a brunette, too. Yeah, bro, trust. She looks better brunette. Like I said, her features are more accentuated with the dark hair. Her cheekbones are more prominent. Her eyes look more like luscious and whiter. Critic Chris says, he looks good both. Christina Ricci doesn't look good as blonde. Emma looks good both. Yeah, I think Christina Ricci looks good with the dark hair, right? Well, actually, you know what? I take that back. I think Christina Ricci actually looks good both blonde and dark hair. Because Christina Ricci looked awesome with blonde hair in Sleepy Hollow. And Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow, Christina Ricci looked awesome with blonde hair. She looked great with blonde hair. So I think Christina Ricci is like the rare exception where she could rock both and look freaking awesome, you know? She could rock both and look freaking awesome. Just like Drew Barrymore. Drew Barrymore is the same thing. Drew Barrymore is the same case. She could rock blonde hair and dark black hair. Drew Barrymore. That, you see, that's another rare case right there. Drew Barrymore. She looks great with blonde hair and dark hair. But yeah. Chris says she who? Apple Ricky says Malcolm would definitely make a cameo in the sequel. He can play Alex. Wait. Oh, Malcolm McDowell. He can't play Alex. He's way too old. Yeah, he could probably play one of the old members from the. Oh yeah. But you want them to be young still, huh? Or maybe Malcolm could have come out. Maybe just have a different character from or something, you know? Let me see. Cosplay says, I finally watched Art the Clown 2, and it was way gruesome than part 1. Part 3 probably even more gruesome. Yes! Terrifier 3 is even more crazier, bro. Terrifier 3 is even more crazier. Yeah, okay. Let me see what I missed right here. Credit Chris says Rose McGowan looks better as Burnett. Rose McGowan? Hey, actually, I think Rose McGowan looks good blonde as well. I think Rose McGowan looks good blonde as well, or brunette, honestly. That's another one. Rose McGowan. She looks great with blonde and brunette as well. In my opinion. Let me see. Castellano says, next year we definitely got to do something for Halloween together, bro. Yeah, man. Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah, bro. I understand this was your first year here, so you're all getting settled in and stuff. But yeah, man, you definitely got to link up with us next year, bro. You definitely got to link up with us next year. Apariki says, like in Child's Play remake, Alex Vincent would be too old to play Andy. Yep, that is true. Apariki says, if he was in the 2019 remake, that is true. Cosplay says, I'll dress up as Jason Voorhees next year. That's sick. That's sick. I'm probably going to be Ghostface next year. I'm probably reverting back to Ghostface next year because Scream 7 will be released next year. So I'm pretty sure the Ghostface costume and Fun World will release some new Ghostface products around January or February, whenever they have that Halloween Expo thing. So yeah, I'm probably most likely going to be Ghostface next year. Let me see. But yeah. So yeah, let's get into the mummy news, guys. Let's get into the mummy news. CNN.com. All right, guys, listen up. CNN.com. Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz reportedly in talks for the Mummy 4 reunion, huh? All right, let's get into it. Castellano says Ghostface versus Jason next year. Yeah, Frank, yup. That'll be it. Ghostface versus Jason next year. Okay, Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz are reportedly in talks with movie executives to reunite for the next installment of the Mummy franchise. The news was reported online by entertainment site Deadline, which said it had learned of the prospective movie from multiple sources. Well, the plan has not been officially confirmed. The site reported that the next installment will be written by David Cogshell or something, whose previous credits include Family Plan and The Deliverance. Cogshell appeared to confirm the news on social media, tweeting out Deadline article with the comment, "Cat's out of the bag, I guess." Fraser and Weisz starred in the original 1999 film The Mummy. The movie's massive success gave a huge boost to the careers of the young actors who are now in their mid-50s. Both have since gone on to win Oscars. Weisz in 2006 for a supporting role in The Constant Gardener, and Fraser in 2023 for his performance in The Whale. The pair appeared together in the 2001 sequel, The Mummy Returns, while Fraser returned alone in 2008 for The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. Neither Weisz nor Fraser was involved in the poorly received 2017 reboot, the franchise starring Tom Cruise and Russell Crowe. Back in 2022, however, Fraser told Variety that he was not averse to reprising his role as an American adventurer, Rick O'Connell. I don't know how it would work, Fraser told Variety, but I'd be open to it if someone came up with the right conceit. CNN reached out to the representative Fraser and Weisz. Universal Pictures did not respond to a request for comment. So yeah, there it is, guys. There it is. There's going to be a new Mummy movie. Who remembers those Mummy movies? With Brendan Fraser. Those Mummy movies. And they would fight Imhotep, you know? And all that good stuff. So yeah, bro, but I wonder what they're going to do. Is Rick O'Connell going to be fat now? Is Rick O'Connell going to be fat now? That's going to be crazy. Damn, so that means Brendan Fraser better get to, like, working out and stuff, you know? Because he's going to have to be jumping around and swinging from ropes like Indiana Jones again. Let me see. Apple Ricky says, we never had a sequel to Clockwork Orange, so why not make one? That is true. That is true, Apple Ricky. That is true. That is true. We never got one. That movie didn't need a sequel. But at the end, though, it kind of feels like you could have one, though. At the end of the movie, it does feel like you could have one. Apariki says, what about the Ballerina Jason fan film? Well, I got to finish all the projects I have now, Apariki. But if I do make that, it's going to be really short, though. It'll probably be like 5-6 minutes. It'll be really short. It'll be really short, Apariki. Because that's just ridiculous. Castellano says, I don't like when franchises bring back movies and ignore the original timeline. It's irritating. Yes, yes, yes. Just like Halloween, the Blumhouse trilogy. I don't like how they ignored at least Halloween 2. They should have at least kept Halloween 2 canon in there. Because in Halloween Kills, they even went as far as using footage from Halloween 2. You know? So, you know, Critic Chris says, they talked like Mummy 4 could take place in the 50s, sort of like Indiana Jones. Really? Oh, okay. I get you now. So the first Mummy movie, when did it take place? Oh, damn, it was like 1923, huh? So like, okay, so the first Mummy movie takes place in 1923. It takes place during the 1920s. And then you got the 30s after, the 40s, the 1950s. So like 30 years or so after the first two. $1933. So the Mummy Returns takes place 1933. The 30s, 40s, 50s. So like about 20-ish, almost 30-ish years or so. Yeah, like about like about 20-ish, 20-something years, almost 30 years after the second movie. Okay, so that makes sense. But are they gonna de-age are they gonna de-age what's his face? What was his name again? Rick O'Connell? Are they gonna de-age Brandon Fraser? Are they gonna de-age Brandon Fraser and Rachel Weisz? Because that fool's still gonna have to lose weight in order to play Rick O'Connell still in the 50s. Castellano says Castellano says Ghostface versus Jason Voorhees next year. Frank, laugh out loud. That'll be crazy, right? Apple Ricky says Halloween 4 should have been Halloween 3. Yep, it should have, right? That should have been Halloween 3. And that's another thing I want to make one day. Is an actual sequel to Halloween 2. I know H2O is kind of like that, but I want to do an actual sequel to Halloween 2. An actual sequel to Halloween 2, you know, an actual Halloween 3. Because we never got like a proper Halloween 3. From Halloween 2, we went straight to Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. It's not even about Michael. It's all about black magic and stuff. And then what should have been Halloween 3 was Halloween 4, you know? So yeah, totally agreed. Critic Chris says agreed. Castellano says spring plushie. Exactly. Spring plushie says, have you seen the Prodigy 2018 movie? I don't know. I don't think so, Aporicky. I don't think so. I don't want to lie to you and say I have. I don't think so. I'm going to have to check it out. Critic Chris says, Hal probably have to work his ass off like Hugh Jackman did for years as Wolverine. That's what I mean, bro. That's what I mean. Even if the movie takes place in the 50s, Rick O'Connell was still relatively young. If they make The Mummy 4, if they make them, because apparently Tomb of the Dragon Emperor is not canon, right? So if they make The Mummy 4, they're going to have to go straight from 1933 after the first Mummy, after the sequel. They're going to have to pick up after the sequel. After The Mummy Returns, and that takes place in 1933. So it takes place during the 30s. So it takes about 20-ish something years into the 50s, you know? 20-ish something years up into the 50s. So yeah, Rick O'Connell will still be relatively have to be in shape, you know? Pretty much. So he would have to work out, even if they, unless they get a younger actor to like double for the body and they just put his face digitally, then I guess, but I don't know. Let's see what they do. Let's see what they do. Wolf says, Frank, I've been meaning to ask you this, but how do you direct your actors? It is my understanding that every director has their own approach and methods. I wonder what yours are. How I direct my actors, that is a good question. How I direct my actors. So what I do is I have the script there and we're going through it and I just tell them, okay, so right now in this scene, you're going to be acting like this. You know, you're going to be acting like so-and-so, like this is happening, and your eye movements are going to be like this, and you're going to turn your head twice this way, you know? So yeah, it's true. Everyone's got their own methods of doing it, but at the end of the day, it's all pretty much the same stuff. It's all pretty much the same stuff because in movies, when you make movies, at the end of the day, we all use the same shots. We all use the same angles pretty much, you know, just in different settings, you know. We all use the same reactions and actions in movies, you know, scared, happy, mad, sad, angry, you know, all that stuff, you know. So what I do is I tell my actors, just pretend this is really happening, you know. Right now, while we're shooting this quick 3-second, 5-second clip, in your brain and in mine, we're going to pretend we're not filming anything, and we're going to pretend like this is really happening. So when I tell my actors to act like it's really happening, then it's easier for them to get immersed in the character, you know? Then it's easy for them to get immersed in the character and literally become that character for those few seconds that we need that shot, you know? And then once the shot's complete, then they snap back into their normal selves, you know? So like I said, yeah, like I said, so everyone's got their own approaches to it, but at the end of the day, it's all pretty much the same rules and stuff apply, you know? You know, so yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what I do. That's what works for me, you know? That's what works for me, and that's what helps me get the best out of my actors. Is either telling them to think back to a time when they were in a similar situation and bring out those same emotions on camera, or I tell them to just pretend this is really happening, you know? Just pretend this is really happening, and your brain just get immersed, pretend this is real, pretend I'm not filming you, and just become this, you know? And that's what makes it easier for easy. That's how I'm able to get my actors to do their best work, you know? Aporiki says, do you think John Carpenter is even nice in real life? Yeah, he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. Aporiki, John Carpenter, he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy, but he could be a jerk when people piss him off. He's an old school man. You got to remember, old school people like John Carpenter were nice, but they also were jerks when people were jerks to them, you know? And that's where I learned that's kind of where I picked up my own personality traits, you know? Was John Carpenter, Kurt Cobain, you know, people like them, you know? Artists like that, you know? A lot of artists, I'm going to be honest with you, Apple Ricky, a lot of artists are assholes and stuck up. But that doesn't mean that they don't like you, know? That's just how artists are. They're moody, you know? Artists are moody, they're picky. You know, some of them are very emotional too as well, you know? So sometimes it may come off like some artists are assholes or they're not nice, but that's just how artists are, you know? We can just be assholes sometimes, you know? But we're not really like going out there being assholes on purpose, you know? We just have more, some of us have more of cynical attitudes, you know? Some of us have more cynical attitudes. Like me, I'm pretty freaking cynical. Critic Chris says, and it's what stunt doubles are used for. Yes, stunt doubles. Yes, stunt doubles. A lot of my actors do their own stunts, but eventually they won't have to. But yeah, stunt doubles are used for stunts. Hell yeah, bro. Like most of the Michael Myers and Jason actors are stunt people. The Ghostface actors too, they're all stunt people. Except when they reveal themselves. That's the actual actors. Castellano says, yeah, rule number 1, gotta act you are... My bad, I misread that. Castellano says, yeah, rule number 1, gotta act like you are the character while filming. Exactly. You gotta get immersed in the character. So when I hit record and we're filming, just pretend I'm not there, you know? The camera's not even supposed to be there, you know? Literally, the camera is just the eye of the audience. Without the camera, the audience has no vision, you know? So literally, the camera is just the eye of the audience. So when you're watching a movie, yeah, I know there's a camera filming them, but in reality, there isn't a camera. It's just life happening, you know? It's just life happening, you know? So yeah, that's what works for us. It's just getting really immersed, like it's really real life in that moment that you're acting this part, you know? Cosplayzano says, I can't wait until I have the opportunity to act. Hell yeah, bro. Soon, man, soon. Soon we'll get you in a movie. When you're ready, Cosplay. When you're ready, we'll get you in a movie. We're always shooting movies here anyway. We're always shooting movies here on this channel anyway. Right now I'm shooting Halloween Ends. Cosplayzano says, I wonder if starting actors have to have an agent because I don't want one due to the fact I have to pay them. Yeah, actually, yeah. Yeah, dude. Actors gotta have an agent, bro. Or you know what, Cosplay? We're in the modern era, bro. We're in the modern era. Become your own agent. Become your own agent, Cosplayzano. Become your own agent, bro. We're in the modern era. I do everything myself too. I do makeup effects, blood. I write the scripts. I write the stories. Before I turn them into scripts. I make the props. I paint the props. I make the costumes. I'm also the location scout, you know? I'm also the set decorator. I'm also the producer, you know? I'm also the editor. I'm also sometimes the music scorer, which I haven't scored my own music yet. But I did make music for my clown movie. That's the intro song we made in the intro of the clown movie. So yeah, I just do everything on my own, bro. Shit, the last thing for me left is getting my own agent as well, or a lawyer, you know. So yeah, Cosplayzano, why don't you just try being your own agent for a bit, you know? Aporiki says you could use Jaylene to play Georgie. Just have her wear a wig. That is true, Aporiki. That is true, but I don't know. Jaylene still looks too girly from her face. Georgie was a little boy, but he still looked like a boy, you know? He still looked like a boy, you know? Like the cheekbones are different and stuff. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see, Aporiki. What I do want to make with my little sister, Aporiki, is that Terrifier fan film. I do want to make that Terrifier fan film. Plus, I started writing my clown. I started writing the Clown 2 last night. Aporiki, I started writing the Clown 2 last night. I started writing the Clown 2 last night. It's going to be gorier and crazier. There's even going to be a poop scene. Cosplayzano says, yeah, when the time is right, definitely will work with you. You're right as well. I'll be my own agent. Don't want people holding leverage over me, telling me what I can and can't do. Yeah, bro. Just be your own agent, bro. Do it, bro. Hell yeah. All you gotta, Cosplayzano, it's easy to be your own agent, bro. Just look up online where they're having auditions, and that's it. That's what the agent does. That's what the agent does. They look where they're having auditions, and they book you for an audition. That's all the agent does. You could literally do that on your own, Cosplay. You just go on the internet and look for open casting calls and book yourself an audition in there, you know? Wolf says, which filmmaker inspired you the most to write and direct, if there ever was one? Damn, bro, I'm gonna be honest. That is a hard question, but I'm out to go 50-50 on this one. The directors that inspired me a lot to make films and write is, and I say directors, bro, because I know you said director, but I can't pick just one here. I can't pick just one here, bro. And like I said, I know you said director, but I have to pick two directors that really inspired the shit out of me, dude. And that's John Carpenter and Wes Craven. John Carpenter and Wes Craven, they really shaped who I became as a filmmaker, bro. Because when I watched Scream, I mean, when I watched Halloween 1978 for the first time, when I was a kid, I was just immersed, you know? I was immersed in the cinematography, the lighting, that blue lighting, you know? The dark, now the movie there was a lot of shadow in that movie. Michael was hiding in a lot of shadow in that film. I just love how they got the shots, wide shots. I also love the camera. They shot it on the Panavision, with the wide angle lens. And then same thing with Wes Craven. Wes Craven also inspired me. Yeah, he pretty much shaped me as well to be the filmmaker I am now. You know, when I saw Scream 1996 and I was a kid, as well back in the 90s, it had the same effect that Halloween 78 had on me. I was just immersed and I was just in awe. I was just in awe that, oh my God, dude, how can someone make something this beautiful? You know, how can someone make something this beautiful? Him and Wes Craven and Carpenter really made Scream and Halloween, bro. That first Scream and that first Halloween are really, really similar, bro. Really, really similar. And those guys really shaped me, bro. They really shaped me as a filmmaker. I learned from Carpenter and from Wes Craven how to basically pretty much get shots, you know, by watching Halloween 78 so many times throughout my whole 30 years of living, as well as Scream 1996, watching those movies just back to back throughout my whole life. Like, their film style just got ingrained in my brain, you know? Like, their film style just became a part of me, you know? And making movies just became easy to me, you know? Like their film style was so simple, you know? John Carpenter and Wes Craven didn't need these. My bad, guys, I'm having a tongue twister. But they did not need these super fancy shots, you know? Carpenter and Wes Craven did not need these super fancy shots to tell a story. They just needed the basic shots that you needed with a good plot on top of that, you know? So yeah, those guys really shaped me. And also later on down the line, also Rob Zombie. Rob Zombie also later on in the 2000s with his movies as well, like House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, Halloween especially. He also shaped me as a filmmaker in the 2000s as well. When I was a bit older, I started learning to get more shaky camera shakes. You know how in Rob Zombie's Halloween there's a lot of shaky cam? I learned that from Rob Zombie. I learned how to do more gore from the Rob Zombie movies as well, you know? So yeah, Carpenter and Wes Craven, they taught me in the 90s, you know? They taught me in the 90s, not literally, but through watching their movies. But Rob Zombie prepared me for what I'm doing now later on, you know? Because without Rob Zombie's Halloween, I don't think I would have learned how to do gore effects as well as I do them, and I don't think I would have gotten as good with cinematography as I did. Because with Rob Zombie, I know I learned a lot of camera tricks from Halloween 78 and Scream 96 from Carpenter and Wes Craven. But Rob Zombie also taught me a lot of cool camera tricks, bro. Especially a lot of the shaky cam. A lot of that shaky cam, he made it popular, dude, in the 2000s. A lot of the shaky cam in horror movies, he made it popular. You see that shaky cam also in the Friday the 13th reboot. You see a lot of that shaky cam in there too. So hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, man. Like I said, these guys' film styles, their ways of shooting movies, like they just got sponged in my brain, you know? And now somehow I have their knowledge and I can make my own movies as well, you know? Like getting shots is easy, bro. Like making movies is easy. You just need a certain amount of shots, you know, that explain the scenes, you know, and that's about it. And you just gotta throw a good plot on top of that, a good killer or slasher, and bam, you got a movie. Okay, so yeah, let me see what I missed. Castellano says, thank you so much for the hearts right there, guys. Castellano says, that's a great question. Aporeki says, have her play Samara in the Ring fan film. Yes, we will do that eventually too. We will do that eventually too, Aporeki. Critic Chris says, actual poop or fake, Frank? Fake poop, bro. It's a movie. Of course it has to be fake. I'm going to melt a bunch of chocolate and like sprinkle like almonds and peanuts in it so it looks like maybe even Rice Krispie. So it looks like food. You know when you poop, it looks like there's food in the poop. So yeah, we're going to do I'm going to try to do some Terrifier shit with the clown too. So we're going to need a lot of melted chocolate. A lot of melted chocolate because there's gonna be a scene where the clown is gonna stuff poop down some guy's mouth. Aporeki says Alex and his friends do horrible shit in Clockwork Orange, but I love it. I love Stanley Kubrick's movies. Yes, Stanley Kubrick did awesome movies as well. Castellano says, I'm taking your advice seriously. Thank you, Frank. Yeah, man. One Fresh K said, what's up? What's up, One Fresh K? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome to Hollywood Horror Film Club. My name is Frank. Today is Horror Talk Wednesdays, episode 53. Please smash your thumbs up right there. Get us up to 21, yeah? Get us up to 21 so more people could join us here on the live stream, please. Castellano says, Wes Craven, John Carpenter, and Stephen King are the top 3 that made me fall for behind-the-scenes work. Yeah, me too, bro. Me too. Me too. Stephen King. Throw Stephen King in there as well for mine. Wes Craven, John Carpenter, Rob Zombie. Hell yeah, bro. Who else? Christopher Nolan. But he does more creative shots though. But he's also badass, Christopher Nolan. One Fresh K said hi. What's up, One Fresh K? Twisted Emo said hi. Twisted Emo said I'm back. Castellano says, will you be playing Halloween the game next year? Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Twisted Emo says, even though I don't really have enough storage to film an actual 1 hour or 30-minute fan film, I will probably just do a 6 or 5 minute fan film of what Corey did after he got back up and went home. Yeah, that'll be cool. That'll be cool. Apple Ricky says Clockwork Orange. They who are all white with like some waist bag with canes and black hats, even horror masks. That they wore all white. Yeah, they wore all white. They wore all white with their little black hats, and then I think Alex had some little like paint on his eyes that almost looked like a sunflower. Twisted Emo says, I also want to do a Halloween 4 fan film too sometime when I get some more storage or a new phone. Yeah, that's awesome. We did a Halloween 4 fan film like 2 years ago, I think. Like 2 years ago, we did a Halloween 4 fan film. Check it out, Twisted Emo. Check out my Halloween 4 fan film. Jamie Lloyd comes out. Michael Myers comes out. And I won't spoil it, though. I won't spoil it if you haven't seen it. But yeah, we have a Halloween 4 fan film here on the channel. Twisted Emo says, might get another Halloween 4 mask because one, I want to have a clean H4 mask for flashback scenes, and 2, I want to overhaul a second H4 mask to look like how the screen used H4 mask looks now. Yep, that'll be cool. Critic Chris says, oh man, Frank, laugh out loud. Yeah, bro. I'm trying to go Damien Leone status here. Eventually, I want to produce my clown fan films in higher budget. Eventually I'm gonna buy the Blackmagic 6K cinema. What is it called? The Blackmagic Pocket Camera 6K Pro, whatever it's called. Eventually I'm gonna get that, and I'm gonna try to produce the clown in higher quality. Apple Ricky says, "Oh my God, that's nasty." He puts shit down someone's mouth. Yup, that's gonna be crazy, right? That's gonna be crazy. So I'm thinking the scene's gonna be the guy's already stabbed up on the floor, bleeding from his stomach. And then the clown goes to the bathroom and sticks his hand in the toilet and pulls out some poop and then walks back to wherever he's killing the guy. And then he stuffs the poop down his mouth and makes him choke on it. Stuffs it down his sarcophagus right here. Oh, makes him choke on it. That'll be cool, right? Castellano says, Critic Chris, laugh out loud. Critic Chris, laugh out loud. Apple Ricky says, when I was like 6 years old, my mom told me I shit up a tree and I sounded like a paintball gun. And she said I went all over the tree and shit was yellow. That's nasty, yo. Like a paintball gun. Oh, man. Castellano says, would you consider doing a werewolf or vampire fan film? A vampire. I have a story for a vampire movie in mind, actually. I actually have a story for a vampire movie in mind. It's kind of like Lost Boys. It's kind of like Lost Boys. So yeah, Critic Chris, yeah. Also werewolf. I have been thinking about werewolf stuff too recently. But I haven't like a story hasn't really sparked in my brain yet. But I do have an idea for a vampire movie. It like I said, it's gonna be similar to like Lost Boys. It's like a group of vampires, you know. So I do have an idea for that. I do have an idea for that. Critic Chris says Frank's going for an X17 rating. Yeah, bro. Hell yeah, man. That's gonna be cool, right? Terrifier 3 was like what, unrated? I'm gonna go hardcore on Clown 2. I started writing it last night. I think the opening scene I wrote is gonna be pretty cool. It's gonna be pretty cool. It's gonna be pretty damn cool. Let me see. Critic Chris says, I like that. Calzizano says, I definitely playing the Halloween game too. Yeah, it's gonna be sick. It's gonna be sick as hell. Wolf says, John Carpenter and Wes Craven are excellent picks, man. You just exude passion when you talk about their work, and your enthusiasm is very infectious and heartwarming. This is why I subscribe to you. Thank you so much, man. Hell yeah, bro. I love those guys' work. Those guys' work was like, bro, come on. I was watching their movies since I was like 5, 6, 7, you know? So at that age, you're a sponge, you know? You take in everything. So seeing all those shots from their movies, like that all literally just became really simple for me to replicate, you know? So watching their movies taught me how to make movies, you know? Watching Halloween 78, watching Scream 96 taught me how to make movies, you know? Watching Rob Zombie's Halloween, all that taught me how to make movies, you know? I didn't even need to know I didn't even need to go to film school to learn how to get shots, you know? I didn't even need to go to film school to freaking learn the names of the shots, you know? I learned all that through just watching their movies. Because like I said, John Carpenter and Wes Craven, they use simple shots. They use really simple shots, but they have a very complex stories though, you know? They use simple shots, but their plots are great, bro. Their plots of their movies are great. They use really simple shots, but their plots are badass. Cosplayzado says, you ever thought about doing a horror fan film series? Yeah, bro. My clown movie. My clown movies. Those are going to be my horror fan film series. They're going to start out as YouTube movies. And once I get my pro camera, I'm going to start trying to figure out a way to produce them in more higher budget, higher quality, you know? So yeah, the clown is gonna be my my baby for now. The clown is my baby for now. That's my fan film YouTube series, is the clown. So we already have the clown on here on YouTube. Go watch it later, guys. Watch the clown. Watch the clown, guys, because you guys gotta start getting ready for the clown 2. And then we're gonna have the clown 2, then clown 3. I'll probably do 3 clown fan films. And then after the 3rd one, I'll start trying to reproduce them in higher budget. Apple Ricky says, I shit up the tree in the backyard when my mom was outside. My brother was like, oh my God. Apple, my mom told me she didn't. My ass was able to do that. That's pretty nasty and funny, though. That is disgusting. Apple Ricky says, have you ever seen Robert Englund at a convention? No, I have not, Apple Ricky. I have not seen him. If I did see him, I would have had a picture with them. Apple Ricky says 67. Castellano says, imagine your clown at the start of your film. He's dancing in a crowd of people, then just crash out on a live people out of nowhere. That'll be cool. That'll be badass. I'll see how I can incorporate that in my movie. Critic Chris says, Frank, what about a creature film like a Cellar Dweller? That's something we need more of. Horror films that have a happy ending. Yeah, I could do that too, dude. I could do any type of horror, man. Horror is really easy, bro. Honestly, horror is really, really simple to do. I could make all that. But yeah, I have been thinking about making like a creature movie as well, like a creature horror film. Maybe like a bum or a homeless zombie guy movie or something, you know, or some kind of creature mutated zombie dude or something, you know. Twisted Emo says, I thought of my Halloween 4 fan film should open. It begins with 2 hikers hiking until they came across Michael Myers lying under some dirt near a river. He wakes up and starts killing again. That's awesome. Critic Chris says, I see Robert Englund at a convention. That's awesome. That's awesome, Critic. Robert Englund's line would be insane. Which line, Apple Ricky? Oh, yeah, line. Yes, line at the convention, definitely. I thought you meant line from a movie. Castellano says, I'm toying with you. The idea of doing a Christmas horror film. We don't have many in that category. Yeah, that would be cool, too. That would be cool, too. There's going to be Silent Night, Deadly Night as well. There's going to be Silent Night, Deadly Night as well. So that's another Christmas horror movie. They're kind of bringing it back, you know. All right, guys, I'm going to be cutting the live at 5:30 today, all right? I'll be cutting the live at 5:30 today. We got one more minute. We got one more minute, guys. If you guys got any questions, last questions, ask them now. We got one more minute. Critic Chris says, I meant to say horror movies that don't have a happy ending. That's how I make my movies. Yeah, I get you, bro. And like I said, any type of horror is easy to make, bro. Any type of horror is easy to make. So, guys, we got one more minute. We got one more minute left on the live stream, guys. So you guys got any last questions? Ask them now, because I won't be going live till Wednesday. We got one more minute. Castellano says, I want to meet Nick Castle, Robert Englund. I almost met Nick Castle. I saw him, though, but I didn't meet him at Halloween 45, but his line was insane. Insane. Aporeki says, I would absolutely love to meet Robert Englund. That would be cool, right? That would be cool as well. Wolf says, thank you for answering questions, man. Man, you all enjoy the rest of your night. You too, Wolf. Take care, man. All right, thank you so much. Hollywood Horror Film Club, Ghostface and Michael Myers collectors for joining me here on the channel for another episode of Horror Talk Wednesdays. Today was episode 53. Like I always say, please smash the like and subscribe button. It really helps us out a lot in the algorithm. Smash the bell notification and be notified when I go live or upload new videos here on the channel. Hit the comments below. Share these videos with everyone you know so we can keep making more horror content here on the channel. And if you'd like to follow me on Instagram for more horror content, Instagram link down in the description of this live. And if you'd like to leave a donation to the channel, you know, sometimes we run out of fake blood and prosthetics for our fan film. Cash App link also below. If not, just keep smashing the thumbs up, guys. And I'll catch you guys on Horror Sundays. Castellano says, take care, Frankie. Be safe. Talk to you later, Brody. Take care. Castellano says, enjoy your day, Wolf. Wolf says, you too, man. Everyone, take care, guys. See you guys later.